everyone. This is a really difficult time for you all. You might not be motivated to study. You might be spending more time on social media. You might not feel connected to nature because you are at home. But if you manage the time wisely, I know that all of you can achieve great things. Remember that every second counts, so please just start now, start today, and I hope that today is a very exciting day for all of you.
Hello everyone, I'm going to use a different method to explain the lesson for you all, and I hope you will also get the experience with this learning methodology. Now, first of all, I advise for you to read the lesson 3 times. When you read the first time, you may not understand, and in the second attempt, you will understand halfway through. Finally, when you read for the third time, you will completely understand the lesson. Right. So now let's move on to the lesson. I have prepared a note very simply for you all to understand well. Now look at the book. Now you all can see there are some places I highlighted, right? And there are some sentences I underlined. And in some places, I have written some important facts, right? So you should follow this method. This is very important for you all to remember most important facts and figures, right? Now, ancient settlements in Sri Lanka. Now we are learning ancient settlements in Sri Lanka. Now these ancient settlements can be divided into 3 stages according to the history of human existence. Right? Now what are they? The first one, prehistoric era. And the second one, protohistoric era. Third one, early historic era. Now, Sri Lanka became a human habitation, as you all know, 125,000 years ago. The Homo sapien or else modern man, both are acceptable, arrived to the country across the Indian Ocean, right? And they spread all over the country, spread various parts of the country, and they adapted to the different climatic zones, right? And their dependency method was collecting food by roaming and hunting. Right. This is my note. As I told you at the beginning, I have prepared a very simple, very short note for you all to understand easily, right? Now here included all the important facts and figures, right? There's no need to go through the book again, because I ask you all to read the book 3 times. Then again, no need to go through the book. You can refer this, right? Now, I just thought of having a brief introduction about the world settlement, right? Then how world became a habitation, right? Here mentioned the world became a habitation 4 billion years ago. Animals and plants firstly originated in the sea. I think you all know about this. Right, look at this. Sri Lanka became a human habitation 125,000 years ago. The world became a habitation 4 billion years ago. Right? Now, can you remember the civilizations of the world? What are the most important civilizations? Or what are the first 4 civilizations of the world? First one, Euphrates Tigris. Second one, Nile. Third one, Indus Valley. And fourth one, Huang Ho. These are the civilizations that we understood are the first civilizations of the world. Right? Now we are coming to the most important topic, prehistoric era in Sri Lanka. What is the idea about prehistoric? Prehistoric. No literary sources. I have written here in red color pen, no literary sources. But this prehistoric era, they did not have any literary sources, right? But from the historic era, we have many literary sources. That's the difference between a prehistoric era and the historic era. Remember that. No literary sources. That is the idea of prehistoric era, right? No literary sources. Now this can be divided into two cultural stages. This prehistoric era, we can divide it into two cultural stages. What are they? Stone Age and Protohistoric era. Now this Protohistoric era, again we are learning as a separate historic era. First of all, at the very beginning of the lesson, I told you we are going to learn about three stages, right? Settlement stages of the country. The first one I told you, prehistoric era, and the second one, protohistoric era, and the third, early historic era. Here we included into prehistoric era as a category or as a cultural stage, right? But this is again we are learning as a separate historic era, right? Stone Age, Protohistoric era. Now, Stone Age, we did not use any herbal foods, any metals or permanent settlements as a habitat. We did not use anything, right? Stone Age only we used stone tools, right? But Protohistoric era we used herbal foods, metals and living in permanent settlements, right? Okay. Right, now according to the human existence, the country has been divided into three stages. I told you earlier, right? Now we move on to the next page, right? Here you can see prehistoric era, protohistoric era and early historic era. Prehistoric era, it was prevailed 125,000 to 1,025,000 to 1,800 BC, right? Protohistoric era 2,400 to 450 BC. Early historic era from 450 BC, right? Now these are the time period, right, according to the historic eras, right? So please mention these things, is very important for you all, right? Now expansion of settlements with the time period and the key features. What is this? Now according to these three stages, historic eras, we are learning expansion of settlements with the time period and key features. This is what we are learning through the whole lesson, right? Each and every historic eras, expansion of settlements with the time period and the key features. Very easy to remember, right? How those historical eras developed. Here you can see prehistoric era goes to protohistoric era and again it goes to early historic era, right? These eras gradually develop according to these points. Can you see these things? First one, tools, lifestyle, food patterns and rituals, right? Now prehistoric era, they had used very simple tools and they lived very simple lifestyle and they used very simple food. That means they hunted and animals, right? And they practiced separate rituals. And it was developed in protohistoric era. And again it was developed early historic era. Right? Now let's move on to the next page. The expansion of settlements. Here you can see expansion of settlements. Right? Here. Expansion of settlements. Prehistoric era. Stone Age. Now there's another name for the prehistoric era is Stone Age, right? Now Sri Lanka became a human habitation 125,000 years ago, right? The Homo sapiens, modern man, migrated Sri Lanka from the top of the India across the Indian Ocean. They spread themselves in various parts of the country and adapted to different climate zones. The next one, as they lived a longer period of time in this country, with the time, their cultural practices also changed, right? Now, here, I forgot to tell you, now, here, civilizations, right? Under civilizations, you also fill these blanks, right? What are these 4 settlements? The first one, Euphrates Tigris, Nile, Indus Valley. 4th one, Hoang Ho. Please fill these blanks, right? Okay. Now, places where can be found the evidence belonging to the Stone Age in Sri Lanka. Now, here we can find evidences belong to the Stone Age in different places in Sri Lanka. There are 2 main or major different places highlighted. First one, gem mines located around Ratnapura area, right? And the second one, Iranamadu formation, right? I will explain what are these. Right, gem mines located around Ratnapura area, right? Now, stone, I told you in the Stone Age, the people used stone tools, right? Now, through the gem mines, they have found, the archaeologists, they found stone tools and some bones of the animals, right? And from the lode, what is lode? Have you heard about the single word illam? From the lode, from the illam, they found the stone tools and some bones of animals, right? The lode, what is the meaning of lode? I highlighted or I underlined here the word lode, and within brackets I have written the meaning of the lode. Layers of soil mixed with gravel, right? Layers of soil mixed with gravel we call as lode, right? Right. Now this is come from about 90 feet deep from the ground level, right? Now this is one place Sri Lanka archaeologists found evidences about the Stone Age people, right? And the second one, Iranamadu formation. What is the meaning of Iranamadu formation? Some tools belong to the, I have written the explanation. Some tools belong to the Stone Age are found in a gravel layer covered with sandy soil mixed with clay in the ground semi-arid zone in Sri Lanka, right? Now, Iranamadu formation can be found in semi-arid zone in Sri Lanka, right? And what we have found there, again some tools, right? Stone tools. Now, these are the most important evidences we have got from the archaeologists, right? Evidences about the Stone Age people, right? Remember, very important, 2 places I have written here. Now we are going to talk about the expansion of settlements in different climate zones. Right? These people settlements, when we look at the settlements of early modern man, right? They have settled according to the different climatic zones. Actually, these climatic zones identified or based on annual rainfall levels. It was decided by the annual rainfall levels, right? Now again, this affects the animals and the plants in the particular area, right? This climatic zone affects the animals and the plants in that particular area. Now how it was happened? Food consumption and technology. Now animals and plants, food consumption and the technology. Now for example, I have given an example here. Lowland wet zone, oysters. Lowland dry zone, deer, iguana. Right? According to the food consumption. Right? Now, people were in the lowland wet zone. They ate oysters a lot because they could have found only oysters there. But in the lowland dry zone, people, they could have found deer, iguana for their meat. Right? Now, the food consumption also differ from zone to zone. Right? That is the idea. This is the idea of that expansion of settlements in different climatic zones. Right? Now, food consumption also changed and technology also change or different, right? Or differ to each other, right? And there are 6 major climatic zones. Now we can see in your textbook itself given a map, right? Now I want to tell you children something. Now I am going to do the map marking separately from separate video, right? It's easy for you all to understand how to mark the map correctly, right? Now you can see the Sri Lankan map here. There are 6 major climatic zones. You can see it is mentioned as A, B, C and D, E and here A, again A, and here also A. Now, what is this climatic zone? A. Right? What is this climatic zone? A is semi-arid zone. These 2 places in the country, semi-arid zone. And the B. Here, there's the B. Here B. Lowland dry zone. Lowland dry zone. And the C, lowland intermediate dry zone. And D, here D. What is this? Wetland, right? Or wet zone. And E, the other zone, E, this is mountainous dry intermediate zone. Then finally F, here Jaffna area, you can see this is arid zone of the country, right? There are 6 major climatic zones in Sri Lanka. Now, how these climatic zones are identified? According to the rain or annual rainfall levels, right? Okay. Now, I have mentioned here from A to F the 6 major climatic zones: semi-arid zone, lowland dry zone, lowland intermediate dry zone, wet zone, mountainous dry intermediate zone, arid zone, right? Now when you look at your book here, right, here under the topic of the expansion of settlements in different climatic zones, you can see the book itself mentioned there are 8 major zones in Sri Lanka. But this is not the correct formation. Please go over this, right? There are 6 major climatic zones. We are going to learn only 6 major climatic zones, right? Okay. Then we move on to the next topic, evidences about the early settlements. Evidence about the early settlements, right? Now here in your textbook, right, the page number 13, right, page number 13, here on the top of the page, right, you can see very clearly Pahiyangala 38,000 years and Kuruvita Battadombalena 28,000 years, Kittulgala Belilena 15,000 years, Bellan Badipalassa 12,000 years, Attanagoda Alulena 10,350 years, Manyangama 7,900 years, Sigiriya Aligala 5,500 years, Udamalala 5,330 years, Mathota 3,800 years, and Henagaha Pugala, right? This is a little difficult to read. Henagaha Pugala, right? 3,370 years, right? Now these are the ages of these early settlements. Now these are the places where we found the early settlements in Sri Lanka. And look at the first one, Pahiyangala. This is very important. Sometimes you may get for the MCQ questions, which is the oldest early settlement in Sri Lanka, right? Pahiyangala, aged 38,000 years, right? This is the oldest early settlement in Sri Lanka, right? Now, when we look at the next page, right, again you can see, right, here Minihagal Kanda Boondala Pathirajavela, right? These are again the same thing here. Now earlier we saw the early settlements with the ages. Now again we have written here according to the caves and open areas. What do you mean by that? In some places, some early settlements were caves and some early settlements were open areas. Remember that. Right, now here look at the book very carefully. There are 5 settlements according to the caves and the open areas. Miniha Galkanda, and Boondala Pathirajavela. These 3 places are outdoor camps in the coastal areas, right? The next one, Pahiyangala, Battadombalena, Kittulgala, Belilena, lowland wet zone caves, right? When you go the Pahiyangala, Battadombalena, Kittulgala, Belilena, you can see the cave, right? You can see the caves, right? And Pothana and Aligala in Sigiriya, lowland dry zone caves. Again the caves. Now children, you go and visit these areas, right? Then you can get the you can get the experience, right? Nice experience when you visit these places, right? And you can add some more important facts and figures to your knowledge. This is very important. Pothana and Aligala again in Sigiriya, lowland dry zone caves, and Bellanbedi Palassa, outdoor camps in lowland dry zone. Bandaravela Houghton Plains, outdoor hunting places in hillside areas. Now these 5 settlements, keep remember in your mind, very important. I have written here very important, and I have written again here caves and open areas, because it was given these places, settlements given according to the caves and the open areas. Right. Now we have finished the expansion of the settlements. Now I told you at the very beginning we are going to discuss according to these 3 historic eras. The first one, prehistoric, proto-historic, early historic. According to these 3 eras, we are going to discuss expansion of settlements and the key features. Now already we have discussed expansion of settlements, right? Now we are going to discuss the key features of settlements, right? Key features. There are 5 main key features of settlements. What are they? Here, look at the note, right? First one, lifestyle, food style or food patterns, technology, nature of people's physical body, rituals. Now, these are the key features of each and every historic settlements in Sri Lanka, or historic stages of Sri Lanka. Now, we are going to discuss lifestyle of the people, food patterns of the people and their technology, nature of people's physical body and their rituals separately. First one, lifestyle. I gathered some most important points under the topic. Here see, people lived by hunting and roaming. Second one, during the rainy seasons they lived in natural caves while they spent mostly a nomadic life during the year. Right? What does that mean? Most of the time they spend outside of the caves, but during the rainy seasons they stayed at caves, right? Inside the caves. Right? Third one, they lived as groups. You all know about this. They accompanied with a lot of members, right? Sometimes 50 to 25 members. In some groups, the number was 50, right? That was the maximum number, 50 members in such groups, right? Sometimes they walked 7 kilometers per day searching for food, right? 7 kilometers they walk per day searching for food, right? And the next one, they placed their relatives' dead bodies inside the caves, because they did not live a longer time. It was a temporary life in caves. Then they placed the dead bodies of the relatives inside the caves, right? And they in the caves they dug a pit with a piece of horn or piece of stick, right? Now, for example, Kitulgala Belilena, Bellan Medi Palace, Pahyangala Lena. Now, in archaeologists, they found skeletons from these caves. Kitulgala Belilena, Bellan Medi Palace, Pahyangala Lena. Right? They have found the evidences regarding this. Right? Now, here you can see Kitulgala Belilena 12 skeletons, Bellan Medi Palace 30 skeletons, Pahyangala Lena 9 skeletons. The next key feature of the Stone Age, food style. The evidences can be found from lowland dry zone and wet zone caves. Now please highlight lowland dry zone and wet zone. Right. Now go through the book. I did not write anything here. Now, because I have highlighted here in your textbook, page number 15, under the topic of food style, some sentences I have highlighted. These are the key features under the topic of food style, right? Key features. Here mention flesh item, and here the plant food, right? Now they hunted. These people, they had hunted animals here, such as gaur, buffalo, black bear, wild boar, deer, spotted deer, etc., and freshwater fish. And again here, plant food. For example, wild breadfruit, wild plantains, especially yams, the kind of yams they found from the particular areas they lived. Right? Evidences have been found in a few examined places that food had been eaten after being baked. Right? Now there were some evidence. The most of the early historic people, they had been eaten those foods after being baked. Right? They baked and ate. Right? Okay. Now remember now under this topic, now only few things you have to keep remember. Right? And come to the next page, page number 16. Here on the top of the page you can see a picture. Please go through the pictures, children. You have to familiar with those, right? And here down you can see the human skeleton, a picture of human skeletons. And here read this: a bead found in a prehistoric habitation in Sri Lanka. A bead, right? This has been made of a piece of bone of an animal. Right? Here look at this, the shape and the size, shape. Look at the shape. And here see this human skeletons. Yeah. Right. Now go through the paragraph, again highlighted paragraph. The prehistoric people preferred to eat snails. Now we have evidence that they had eaten snails, right? 3 snails and oysters also. Oysters living in lagoons, right? Now next one, the prehistoric people who lived in the inner parts of the country went far to get salt they needed for their food. Now remember, these early historic people, the prehistoric people, right, they used salt. Remember that. They used salt. When they cook, they use salt like us, right? Sometimes they had to walk several miles to find salt, right? Now go through the next key feature. Now we have discussed 2 key features. The first one, now what is the first key feature we discussed? Living style and lifestyle. And the second one, food style. And the third one, technology, right? Now technology. Now what kind of technology they have used, as you all know so far? Now, we already know, only stone tools they have used. Nothing else, right? Only stone tools. Right, and now here, that is why this stage called Stone Age, this prehistoric era called as Stone Age, because they have used only stones, right? They did not have any technology there. Only tools they used made from stones, right? Now we found evidences from gem mines, Ratnapura and Iranamadu formation. At the beginning we discussed about the evidences of Stone Age, right? Right. Now remember, these stone tools very small size. These stone tools were in small size, and they were called geometric microstone tools. Right? They were called geometric microstone tools because they had shapes, different shapes, geometric shapes. So that is why these tools called by that name, geometric micro stone tools. Right. Actually, the length of these tools, say 4 to 5 centimeters, a very small size. Right. Now, what was the purpose of using this kind of technology? Hunting animals, cutting, scratching, chopping, scratching, digging. These are the purposes of using these stone tools or this technology. Right? That's all about the technology. Now we discuss 3 key features. The next one, nature of people's physical body. Right? Physical body. Now I have written here in my note very simply. Here you can see nature of people's physical body. Now here mention the height of the peoples in that era. Right? Here you can see the height of the grown male, the height of the grown female, the size of the brain. Again mention the size of the brain of a grown male, and again the size of the brain of the grown female, and finally the maximum lifespan of the prehistoric man. Right? Please short this paragraph. Here you can see this paragraph is little confused, but here very simply I have written the most important things. The height of a grown male. Here 174 centimeters. The height of a grown female 166 centimeters. And the size of the brain of the grown male 1600 cubic centimeters. The size of the brain of a grown female 920 cubic centimeters. And the maximum lifespan of the prehistoric man, see, about 35 to 40 years. Right? Their lifespan was very short. When you compare with the people in this era, the very short lifespan they had, 35 to 40 years. Finally, rituals. Here you can see after the death of a relative, they dug a pit and placed the dead body and covered it up with garbage. Right? We already know about this. Now what happened after some more time? They had taken these skeletons out and they painted with red color brown stones and buried back. Now this is a kind of a ritual they have practiced. Right? And here you can see some examples. The archaeologists, they had been discovered some skeletons from Ravanayala, cave of Ravanayala, and Pahayangala cave and Battanamalena in Kuruvita. Right? These are the few examples that I have given here. Right? We learned all the features in detail about the prehistoric era. Finally, I would like to discuss the challenges faced by the Stone Age people in short. Right? Now, I have given the topic here. Actually, it's like a question. So, you must fill the blanks after I explain. Right? There are 4 challenges I listed out. First one, they were unable to find food when necessary. Right? Second one, very often they were attacked by wild animals. Third one, there was no protection. Actually, there was no protection during the rainy season as they lived in caves. Fourth one, walking place to place was a difficulty faced by patients and aged people. Now I am going to wind up the lesson. I will continue the rest of the lesson with another video. Children, please remember to subscribe, like, click on the bell before you leave. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.